I'll start with XRP, and I'll start with the ascending channel that I'm watching. Yeah, and I've put in a new top line. Price action has decided to go up higher today. It looked like it topped out at 33.45, and it's in the middle of a correction. We'll have a look at that at the MAs at the moment. Yeah, so I'm going to take out this line and leave it there. Yeah. So now when I measure this space here, is the drop down target is 29.78, and the lift up target is 35.51. Yeah. And Mihaela pointed out a very good point, is that there are many more touches to the top and to the bottom here before it moves up. Yeah. So I definitely think it's in the same pattern. I just believe that we're going to have a dip. We're going to have a dip before we have a lift. Yeah. But we'll see. We will see. At the moment, it looks like it's topped out. And I'll show you on the MAs. Is one of the things I am mindful of is that we could end up being in a much bigger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move. So we could be heading higher. Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Yeah. I think it's actually doing its correction now. Yeah. So it does look like we're coming back to a touch here, and whether this one is the breakout or not, we'll have to see. Okay. So now let me go then to the MAs here, and if it was a break. No, I'll actually show that later. Sorry, show that later. I'm on the wrong timeline to show you what I want to talk about. Let's have a look at the daily first. So the day turned, and where are we with the MAs? Yeah, you can see that there's it wicked up to the medial line here, the 20 MA here, spiked through, and it's got rejected. It looks like it's topped out on its impulse, and it's into a correction. We had a strong lift up from the VWAP and the 5 yesterday, but you can see the 10 and the 5 have crossed over there, which weakens both of them. Generally, when something like that happens, that both of them become weaker temporarily until they move away from each other and they find a direction together. Yeah. So, and then here is the 20 EMA, which has a week 2. But you can see where it's gone. I'm going to go to the 3-day, and the reason why I'm coming to the 3-day is because the 10 MA coming down and the 5 here are resistance. Yeah. Now again, it is also the same thing. Is when you get 2 wicks wicking like this, is sometimes they can neutralize each other out, and sometimes they become much stronger depending on the direction. If they're going the same direction, they have a tendency to be stronger. So you can see the 2 of them wicking here together. Yeah. If one was going up and the other was coming down, I would say that they're sort of neutralizing each other out. Yeah. But when they're moving in the same direction, it generally means that they're stronger. Yeah. So you can see that resistance there on the 3-day. And then the Bollinger on the 3-day is down here at 28.62. And then the 2-day, again, there's the medial line and the 10 MA on the 2-day that it wicked up to. Yeah. And then here's the 5 pushing down. Again, that looks like section support. Okay, so let me zoom in a little bit more. So I'm going to go to the 12-hour. And again, the 12-hour, we're at the top of the Bollinger on the 12-hour. Is the bottom of the Bollinger is 30.68. You can see the VWAP here. Now the VWAP is resistance at the moment. And interestingly, the MAs, a lot of the MAs here, they're neutral. See when they go sideways like this, you get them in a line like this. I know the 10 is coming up a little bit, and the 20 is coming down, but you can see the 50, the 20, the 5 here, they're all pretty level. Generally, that means that they're easy to move through. It's almost like they move into a little bit of a neutral zone. They sort of, it's like they get a bit calm or something, you know. They're easier to push through. That's really what I'm trying to say. Now the 10 and the 9 are very similar. So just to save a bit of time going through them all like that. So you can see on the 8 hour is it also hit the 50 MA and the 55 EMA, the blue one. It's the EMA, yeah. And it also hit the Bollinger. And you can see that the touch here and the bouncing along here. So it does seem like it's going to me, it's going to come back down. And there's 31.14 as the Bollinger there, yeah. And I'm talking about this being a complete impulse, yeah. And it needs to come down for its correction. You can see the 5, it wicked down to the 5 here. And again, this does look pretty pumpy. The 20 EMA, the 10 MA, the 20 MA. One of these needs to turn. Yeah. So now let's see the turn as we zoom in. So you can see the touch here, the 144, the 111, the 50 MA. So you can see there's a lot of resistance that price action came to. Yeah. It's getting a pushback. So you can see that the first push down, there's a lift here. And again, we need to see the 5 start to turn. So now when we go into the 4 hour, again, is you can see that this is the 100 MA, that is the Bollinger here, the 111. Here's the weighted 144. Again, the 5 is coming up in the 4. When we see this turn, that's a nice big signal that we're going to have a nice downturn, yeah. Or if it doesn't, we're going to keep going up. So now the 3 hour. Again, you can see the resistance here. I did think that the 200 MA was going to hold it, but it didn't. It didn't hold it, yeah. And again, you can see the touch, the push back, a push down. And you see the 5 coming up here. So again, what needs to happen is price action needs to start getting back down below or around this 5, so that at one point the 3 hour will turn and the 5 turns with it. And you can see that the VWAP here is holding resistance, yeah. And again, it does look fairly pumpy, and the 20 EMA has crossed the 55 here, the blue one, on the 3 hour. So that is a pump signal. But again, it's coming with price action from a lower place, yeah. So it'd be different. It'd be different if this crossed over here, it's ready for a pump, because this is a correction. And you get a crossing here, is you really get a pump. When you get a crossing and there's already a lot of pump, is it doesn't have the same impact. So here's the 2 hour. Okay, and again here we see the lift, the rejection at the 200 MA. Here's the pushback. Here's the VWAP being resistance, and again you can see the 5 starting to bend here. Yeah. So again, what we need to see on the 2 hour is the 5 turn, and we can see that it turned on the hour, and you can see the 10 breaking through here. So we need to see the 10 turn, and again it'd be nice to see the 5 and 10 turn and start to see the 20 EMA turn. So when we start to see the 20 EMA, and the 20 MA here, when we start to see these turn, is again that would give me a very clear indication that we are actually coming down for a correction, yeah. And then I just think, just the simplicity of it here is it's come up and done a touch. Is there's many more touches on the channel. This has had 1, 2, and this is the 3rd one. So this one here, Halo doesn't count it, so let's not count that. I'll go with her. Is 1 touch, 2 touch. So there's only really 2 touches here, 3 touches here. So it does seem like there's more touches due. Yeah. Just out of curiosity here, is on this one there was 1 touch, 2 touch. It was the 3rd touch that broke it through here. Yeah. It was the 3rd touch that broke it through.
It actually met the technical target.
How do you mean?
Like if you measure that.
Oh yes, when you take it, yeah. When you take it here like this, measure, yeah. It went a little bit beyond it. But you're right. Is then here 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch. So actually, yeah, 1, 2. The 3rd touch here did go pretty high, yeah.
Well, that's what I was looking at.
So potentially we could be going a little higher.
I think that will met the target as well, or came close to it.
Yeah, I am mindful that the way these move is sort of same but different. Is this the highest touch here? Equally, I think this is the highest touch here before we actually get the lift. And I always say take out the sideways. See the sideways here? If you take out the sideways here, and then you take out the sideways here, and you start to put the peaks together, you'll see the peaks have a tendency to match up, and it's just the sideways can play around with the positioning of them. But this peak comes first, this peak comes first, sideways comes first here, sideways comes second here, and then this next peak is here, and then this next peak is closer here, yeah. So same but different, I think anyway, but we'll see. We just need to measure it out, yeah. I have to decide. Is when it came down here, it offered me 50%. I didn't take it because I was like, well, let's see if it's going to break through. It's come back up here and it's challenged my entry point, and now it's going to come back down again. And I believe that I'm going to take my profit on it this time. And if it wants to break through, I'll jump in again. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I gotta keep my discipline to trading the impulses, because very simply here, if I'd have taken my profit here and literally did a 786 and go in on the impulse here, just I'm in on another trade. So I could have taken a profit, and taken another profit here. Yeah, rather than is wait for I'm waiting for this drop, and while I'm waiting for this drop, this happened. So I got to keep tighter to my rule about just trading the impulses. So anyway, so that's one of the lessons going on for me at the moment. So the MAs here. So now let's just have a quick look at the stock or RSI and see where it is. Yeah. So on the hourly, it's close to the bottom. Yeah. But again, on the hours, they can stay there. This could come all the way back down here, and it just brings it down here. Yeah, so that can happen. It does look like there's a little bit of a turn going on here, so that's where I'm a bit mindful that maybe there's going to be a little bit more of a lift in it. Yeah. But on a shorter term let's see what the 15-minute says. So you can see the 15-minute topped out here. Here's the first initial correction, is topped out here again. And again, to me, the 15-minute looks like it's ready to come down again. Yeah. So again, taking it down, they'd be taking it down to the next level. If it is, this is the top, and we're in for the correction. This is working its way down for a bigger drop. So if this breaks, which I believe it will, we'll get a much bigger drop down, and this will be the 1-2 for the push down for the correction. Yeah. I'm just curious what the 5-minute is doing. Okay, 5 minutes at the top as well. So it looks like the 5 minutes going to have a go at this 200 MA again. And look, you can see it coiling up here. So there's a good chance that when this breaks down, it could push down with a nice bit of strength, break through this, and test these a bit more. So that's what I'm looking at. If I just go to the 4-hour, just out of curiosity, okay. So this is interesting with this one. You can see this is where it gets a challenge sometimes to read. You see the lift up here, and then gradually it come all the way down, and then just this small lift here takes it back to the top, the sideways, goes up a little higher, So now look at this. This is higher. Price action is higher here. There's price action there. Price action is lower here, but look at the RSI here. And then price action is a little higher here, and RSI is a little lower here. So, Michaela, what would you say about that? Is that a bearish?
Oh, that is for sure
a bearish divergence.
Yeah.
Because look, price action is higher. Price action is lower, but the RSI stock is pushing up. So therefore, price action is getting weaker. Look, now price action does a little lift up. but the stock doesn't. So this becomes a hidden bearish because price action is going up, but the momentum isn't there. And when price action is trying to go up here, is the momentum is trying to push it, but price action doesn't get up. So it's getting exhausted. Either way, you can see that it's getting exhausted. Yeah. So it does look like the 4 hour is due to take a trip down. Yeah. And let's hope it takes one of these trips. Just out of curiosity. Now this is just me being a bit. I'm just taking literally a physical line. Yeah. There's no real technical wizardry in this at all. You know. Is 27.13. Okay. And I don't think it's going to go that low. I don't think it's going to break this low here at 28.65. I don't believe it's going to break this low. Yeah. So we'll see. But anyway, so that's the stock there. Yeah. Let me just get it on that. So now is there anything else I want to show you? Oh yes, there was the one thing I wanted to show you here. Yeah, this is about the impulses. Yeah, so I do believe that what we've had is on this impulse we've had the 786 correction. On this impulse, we haven't had a full correction. Is sometimes I did check this and it's an 05 correction. And it's been doing a 786 all the way along, so I'm struggling to accept that this is a correction and that then this is a new wave. I'm looking at these as the same wave, yeah. And then I'm looking at the correction. So if I look at the correction, I'm not sure whether I'm right about this, but if I am right, and it is the breakdown, is if it does a 786, coming back to 3166 or so, yeah. But if it is the one that is the breakdown, is we go below that and we start looking at the 168 and the 1786. So the range there is 2985 to 2951. So now when I go back to my chart here and I do the same thing, here's my fib from the top to the bottom, and I look here at the range here, is now I'm in the range of the 1618 is matches this target here of 2978, 2991. So it's in this range, yeah. And again, it's also within this range, so it's well possible that we could be getting down to the 786, 1786 down here, yeah. So that's what I'm looking at, yeah. And then equally, I'll do this visually, yeah. If this is a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, it's a bit difficult to imagine it reaching there, yeah. Maybe this is a.
That would be too high.
Well, maybe this is a 1, 2, and 3 is all the way up here. This is just on the way to 3. You know, this could be doing the scoops. You know,
yeah.
If this is a 1 scoop, 2 scoop, 3 scoop, that'd be 3, 4, 5. Yeah. But we'll see. There's the red candle. What time is it now? Is that 11 o'clock? It is 11 o'clock. Okay, so I was just about to hand over to Mihaela, but the 4 hour just turned. So let's have a quick look at the MAs, because the 4 hour just turned. So let's see, and the 8 hour just turned as well. Okay, so let's have a little zoom in on this. Let me just correct this here. A little zoom in here. Let's see what's going on. So this is the 8 hour. Okay. So again, is topped out here, came down, hit off the 5, came back up. This is natural for regards to the correction. Is what do we call that again? Is it an
I
evening?
think it's
Is it an evening? Evening star, is it?
yeah.
Okay. And again, I think that's a nice clear sign of rejection. If I show you what happened on the 4 hour, here is we got something similar on the 4 hour, and look what it did. Boom, it went up. Yeah. So here we are on the 8 hour. We're getting something similar on the other end. Yeah. So again, here's the VWAP. Here's the 5 here. So let's see if this 5 can turn. Let's see if we get price action coming down here. The 4 hour now is quite important here. Is okay, it's back up to 111. Here's the VWAP being resistance. Here's the 5 coming through. I wasn't expecting the 5 to turn, because what will need to happen is price action. Let's say on the next 4 hour turn, let's say price action is down here. What we need to see is a red candle and price action below the 5, so that when the next 4 hour turns, the 5 MA can actually take a turn. So that's what we would need. Yeah. So I suppose as a minimum, we'd probably want to see price action getting down to the 10 MA. That's what I'd be looking for. Getting down to 32.62. Basically getting back down to here again. And even getting below it. It'd be good to see it getting below it, yeah. And the 3 hour didn't turn, but just out of curiosity. Okay, so now you see the way, if price action come back down for the 3 hour, that would be good. But let's see what's going on the 2 hour. Okay, so remember looking at the 2 hour, and you could see it curving around. So now here, even though price action is above it, the 5 MA on the 2 hour is actually slightly dipped down. You could say it's level, but it's actually slightly turned down. So again, you can see that's looking to pull it down, and you can see the VWAP is resistance here. So sometimes I use this analogy for VWAP. The VWAP is resistance, but yet price action is above it. It's a bit like when we were playing chasing as kids, you know, and somebody gets a hold of your top, and you're running away from them, and you're past them, and you're running away from them, but they've got a hold of your top and they're not letting go. So as much as you're past them, you haven't actually fully got past them, because they won't let go. So the VWAP is like that sometimes. Price action gets above it, but the VWAP is just giving it space to move, but yet you're going to get pulled in. You're going to get pushed back down. Yeah. So that happens quite a bit with the VWAP. Yeah. If you start to see, let's say the 5, there's that drill. If you see the 5 pushing through the VWAP and price action starting to move on, isn't it? That's a different thing. So now you see the VWAP starting to break. But I think it's a clear sign here that it's not. So that's it. And then the hour is the hour turn as well. And again, here's again, this is part of the natural formation. The 5 turns, the 10 is coming up. Now look, the 10 is going sideways. I know the 5 is lifting back up through, but it does this weaving thing where it's working its way down. And what we want to see is the 5 and 10 turn together, break back through the VWAP, and that will be a nice strong pull down to start breaking through these guys here. Yeah. So I would probably expect on the next turn of the hour is the 5 to maybe take a turn down, or the next one after that, then both to take a turn down and have a strong push through. So that's what I'm thinking of. Okay, so that's it. That's me done. Is again, this is also a very good opportunity for a short, is because it's coming 1, 2. As soon as this confirms itself that it's a nice push away, it's a very good entry point. And then the simple target on this, I'll use this chart here. The simple target would be down here, back to the yellow line here, 31.67 or so, the 786, maybe just slightly above it. And again, maybe what I'll do here is I'll take 75%. I'll leave in 25% if this breaks through.
You can DCA on
if this breaks through, I'll DCA a little bit more. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. So that's me. That's me done. I'll hand you over to Mihaela now.
Good morning, everyone. We're gonna start with Ethereum. That was an excellent guide coin. I'll call Ethereum a guide coin from now on, because this past week Ethereum has showed me a move in advance, while both Ethereum and Bitcoin are both in sideways channels. Ethereum's more level, and it's making these ascending channels or descending channels, and it's showing me where it's planning on going. I'll switch to the one hour. So last night I was looking at this ascending channel that Ethereum was making, and ascending channels have a 70% chance of breaking downwards. But we need to have 3 complete swings to the top. So I generally don't count the swing that goes into the channel, I count the next one. So we had 1, 2, and last night we were right about here in this price compression, and I realized there should be another lift. And there was another lift. Ethereum, how can I say, it showed me that there will be another lift, there will be another swing up. Now this swing up didn't reach this line, so I've two choices here, TA wise. I could actually bring this line in closer and make it a wedge, like this, which again would give me 3 complete swings to the top, or again, as a possibility, because there are only 2 possibilities, it's not like the mind can hold that, I can allow this line to be a little bit higher, and I'll take this as an incomplete swing, a swing that couldn't get to the top of the channel. So that shows signs of exhaustion. There are, between these 3 peaks, 1, 2, 3, there is a bearish divergence. So the bearish divergence was still kept. If I change to the RSI, you will clearly see the difference, because it's when the screen is small, it's harder to see. Now, I was trading Ethereum a while ago, and I know that this can hold and it still continue going up. So my most likely scenario is today we're going to see a reversal from this upward swing. We're going to see a reversal downwards, and that reversal downwards will take us, the technical target for this channel will be somewhere around 1070. I'd say the next support and resistance line around 1060. So that's my most likely scenario, given that this swing didn't have despite being a higher high, it didn't have the strength to reach the top. However, if we do continue this rising momentum, and again, when I change to Bitcoin, you're going to see that Bitcoin's holding above the 20,000, which generally creates a change in sentiment. For Ethereum, I would need to see a break above the 1250. I think that would be the confirmation. Sorry, not 4 days. That would be the confirmation for this sideways channel breaking upwards with a massive target. So I think this channel would take us to the 1500s. So it's worth waiting. It's worth waiting another less than 100 points to see if it's gonna break this invalidation line. Again, from experience, I know that when Ethereum does that, it continues upwards. So that was a nice thing to see. I think it was the 3rd or the 4th time Ethereum gave us a clue as to what was going to happen, and this swing last night was very nice. The stochastic on the 4 hour is crossing downwards at the moment, and again we have between these 2 peaks we have a bearish divergence on the 4 hour. In terms of bigger momentum and MAs, again, Ethereum has reached a midline of a daily channel it's been in. Now, just like any other midline, it can do 2 things. It can either reverse downwards or it can go up. At the moment, it's holding beautiful support on the day in terms of the MAs. It would be 7. As much as it looks supported, it's very close to where support really is. So if there is a reversal today, that's gonna break below the 1100 1111, which is the 10 MA on the daily, that will bring it down to the 1000 level, and then further on to the 950 level. So it is holding support as is, but it's close to it. So this reversal might turn might turn the swing quite strongly down. We'll see when we break that support. We know when we break that resistance, we know. So 1250 and the 1250 is the Bollinger Band on the daily, and the Bollinger Band is an MA as well. So we break that, we break through that resistance. The next target on the daily would be the 1500, the 50 MA on the daily. I keep changing to the 4-day today instead of the 4-hour. So again, nothing at the moment. There's nothing turning or being rejected on the 4-hour. Candle formation doesn't look too strong, to be honest, but it didn't look too strong here. It didn't look too strong here either. So again, considering the low volumes in the market, maybe this is what it is. Maybe it's a slow ascent towards the 1500. We have the 200 MA on the 4-hour around the 1280, which again is in line with the support and resistance that it needs to break. So at the moment, I'd say the wisest, the most strategic move that a trader would do is to wait for confirmation, either the break of support downwards. And again, you can take, if you want to take your signals a little bit earlier, you can take them on the 1-hour. And that would be the breaking of the 20, again, for a small position, and then the breaking of the 50 for a bigger position, and then the breaking of the 200. So that would be the 3 steps downwards for confirmation of a bigger move towards the 1000. And it's again, it would be worth following it down, because it would be a 13% trade. Now, for Bitcoin, Bitcoin has a different, a slightly different layout. Again, I won't consider this swing in this sideways channel, so we would have 1, 2, 3, but this one met the target, so I think the channel reset itself here. So we have 1, 2, 3. I would say another touch to the bottom would be natural, but then again, it's broken out of this line. Just like with Ethereum, I have 2 choices. I can either, since it hasn't gone anywhere, like it's broken out, it's retested, but it hasn't really gone anywhere. I could move it here and keep the bodies and the wicks all connected, or I can leave it here and have it as a guide, which is what I'm going to do, have it as a guide for my confirmation downwards. This morning, Bitcoin broke the divergence line, the local divergence line. It retested it on the 1-hour, and now it seems like it couldn't get above it. It might be coming back down. Again, we have two possible scenarios. Yesterday, as much as yesterday looked eventful, what happened was a movement in this area. So it was a swing up, but it was a small. It wasn't 3%. Yeah, 3.6% range. So I'd say we can either consolidate here and keep this support and resistance and move upwards with a little bit more conviction, or we're gonna come down and test the 19,000 or the 18,000. So these are my two levels down. The invalidation for the downwards move for me still is the holding of 22K. For the big move at around 25K, 27K that Bitcoin is supposed to do in terms of a big relief rally, that to me is the confirmation. Up until that level, we have smaller swings, smaller moves, and sometimes what I personally think this is, it's a bull trap. And there will be a rug pull, there will be a downwards reset, and then the proper lift will happen. Now let's have a look at the MAs. First, I want to show you the 4 hour. Was it? No, it was a 12 hour. I want to show you first where it wasn't a 12 hour. Sorry, I have a terrible memory for numbers. One of the 55 MAs was the resistance of this. Might have been the 8 hour or the 6 hour. Anyways, so the 55, I'll say it like that, the 55 EMA on the 6 hour seems to have been the resistance here. The VWAP again, I think is moving sideways on the 6 hour, and we have a stochastic topping out on the 6 hour. I think the 4 hour has already turned 4 hours upwards. I'm gonna make a note before the sessions. The 12 hour turned downwards. So
there we are, fuckers.
So that's where we are on the 12 hour. I know. I have to shout now. I'm gonna change to the bigger panel of MAs. So surprisingly, we've just started the 4 hour and we have lost the support of the 5 as we stand. So Bitcoin's looking a little bit less strong than Ethereum. Ethereum was holding all the support. Bitcoin seems to be losing the 5 MA on the 4 hour, which is the 20 MA on the 1 hour. Still above it. The 20 MA is the midline of the Bollinger. The 10 MA on 1 hour. Anyways, sorry about that, guys. My number mind is off at the moment. It will wake up eventually. Anyways, we're losing some support. We've tested the... yes, of course. This is the 20 MA on the 1 hour. We lost that support 3 hours ago. We've come above it. But now the 5 is moving down and the 10 is moving down. So we'll see what's happening here. To me, just looking at the formation of where we are on the 1 hour, this is looking like a triple top formation.
They're drilling concrete, by the way.
So as a triple top formation, the most likely scenario would be down at least to the, let's say, the bottom of the swing, which is around 19,400. And if I am to put a fib on it, I did a study yesterday and Bitcoin likes to do 702 and 786 equally. So the 702 would be 19,200 approximately, the 786 would be the 19,000. So that would be the correction for this. As it stands, this is a we've done a nice so if this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave, this one looks like an A, B coming down for C, at least lower to the golden pocket, at least that. And I'll put the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so that you see what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And again, this is possible because I'm not taking into account the wicks. I'm not taking into account the wicks for this count, just because I want to make sense of how this actually moved up. So that would be in this sideways. That would be my my most likely scenario for today and tomorrow. I think we're going to see a correction, unless levels of resistance are being broken through and held. I'll see you in New York session, and I wish you a good day trading.